There do appear to be a lot of dead people with no outward wounds of blood. They've died from something. Some of the symptoms, like the open mouth, almost the
recent events in Syria have
stares, are very
really concerned me. Having done a lot of research into false flag operations and the way that they culminate in usually the after results of these initiations that have been proven throughout history. False flag attacks are real. That's correct. Our government might have, forces in our government might have created a false flag. It came out in a Daily Mail article in January, which was scrubbed from the internet. And fortunately, I have a cache copy of it. And we got to get this information out there that this did occur. The United States agreed to, or was considering to, the option for false flag attack and blame it on Syria using chemical weapons.
What has killed these people?
This information is undeniable.
What chemical weapon
it's truth.
Has been used? It's very difficult.
Whether or not this is a false flag event.
Pictures are from today. There's no metadata on the film, but I've seen 75.
Well, let's talk about that for a moment. If you were Assad, would you use chemical weapons 3 days after inspectors left? No. It sounds a lot like Saddam Hussein. They're doing the same exact playbook with Saddam Hussein. And of course now the U.S. Navy has been deployed to the region. Too early to speculate on what's going on, but considering the opposition here with Russia and Iran, Syria, we could be teetering once again on World War III. It's very dangerous for us to get into these foreign entanglements, and this has to stop. This is why we need a man like Robbie Wells to be president. RobbieWells2016.com. We have to restore our constitutional republic, and in the right wing and the left wing, Robbie Wells is the middle of the bird. Everybody's so wrapped up in their own lives in this material world that they show us, that they give us, that they want us to be wrapped up in, so that we don't have critical thinking and we just go along with the masses and we accept everything that they tell us as fact. I mean, look at the real numbers here. We got 18 million people out of work, not 12 million. All these farcical numbers. We have lies everywhere. I mean, that's why MSNBC is losing so much viewership. People are, even the democoms are waking up. This left-right paradigm is a fraud. Both of these parties are controlled by the same influences through the Council on Foreign Relations, and that our whole country is controlled under foreign policy. And the police state that's rising is because of our foreign policy, not our domestic policy. Okay? Because our foreign policy is going to be continuous wars and continuous Anglo-American imperialism, which is what's going on here. A great book you should all read is The Anglo-American Establishment, and another is Tragedy and Hope, both written by Carol Quigley. So we're in a situation where our nation is being devoured from within, and nobody's paying attention about it, nobody's fighting against it. And let me tell you something, I was a lifelong Democrat till I actually took the time to wake up and do the research and learn what the policies of the Democratic Party is. I mean, a world government is a good thing. If you think that, then you're really a traitor. We cannot give up the sovereignty of our nation and our God-given and inalienable rights. Television is just spewing with anti-God. I mean, everywhere. It's all about immorality, sex and violence. You know, movies about, now they make movies about gangsters. They make movies about rappers that are gangsters. They make all this violence and sex in the media for the last 40 years. And people wonder, what's the result? Why are people Why are kids pummeling an 89-year-old man to death with flashlights? Or any of these other incidents that they put onto a racial basis or black and white. It has nothing to do with black and white, ladies and gentlemen. Just like it's not a Jewish conspiracy. The New World Order is purely evil, and it's using forces to suck people into the evil, and it occurs. It is a metaphysical thing, as much as it is a group of corporations that work in concert, and that's exactly what it is. When you analyze the New World Order, and you analyze the companies that are involved, you come up with some interesting statistics. For example, there are 10 companies that control an enormous amount of what we buy and what they market to us. So that's one of the reasons why we're overweight and everything else, is because we've been sold Hot Pockets and all this stuff and all these things. But then when you get into who owns these companies, like Corn Flakes and Frosted Flakes are made by Kellogg's, but they also make Hot Pockets and L'Oreal products. So you have this conglomerates going on here. Big ones, ginormous conglomerates put together, are controlled now. In fact, most of the brands are controlled by just 10 multinationals, according to an amazing infographic from French blog Convergence Alimentaire. You can see how many products are owned by Kraft, Coca-Cola, General Mills, Kellogg's, Mars, Unilever, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, and Nestle. Now, it's not just the consumer goods industry that have become consolidated. 90% of the media is now controlled by just 6 companies, down from 50. There is some autonomousness to the New World Order, so there's like an autonomy where each of these companies, these 147 companies, are controlled by several families, like a dozen, 15 families. That's the way this is going. So when you break it down, this is true. These are the ruling class, the ruling people. They call it the Illuminati. I think it's more like calling it Illuminati is just like putting like a tag on it. Like you put a tag calling it the New World Order, which is actually something that they call it. We didn't make this up. I didn't make this up. The New World Order is the elites doing, and what they're working for, and their organizations they put together, like the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, going way back. It's going back way further to the creation of the great tax-exempt foundations, which is the root of this conspiracy to control all aspects of human life, all resources, including water and space and air and everything, food. And we can see it happening with companies like Monsanto and all these other multinationals that are pushing down in the regulations of our own government, when having people like that, like Michael R. Taylor, head of the vice president of the FDA of Monsanto, being on the FDA food consortium. So you can see that there is obviously a connection, and you can see that there is clearly a plan. If you look back in time and you see what they wrote in the Club of Rome documents in 1968 going on, Limits to Growth, The Population Boom by Paul Ehrlich, all these books, read them or at least peruse them and get an idea of what these people are thinking of doing. And they have a lot of money behind them. Like Henry Kissinger, just about anything that he says over time, it's very important. It comes true. This is true. When they talk about their intentions, this is their intentions.
We have a lot of huge problems. We have the nuclear problem in Korea. We have the nuclear problem in Iran. We have, of course, the whole array of problems, each of which, Afghanistan, and so forth. But then we have the financial issues. But they really are issues of the construction of a new world order. That's what this is about.
Now again, the elitists at these organizations like the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, David Rockefeller, that clientele up there, George Soros, all of these people, they have a left-leaning philosophy, because socialism works wonderful if you're a banker and an oil person and you got the government paying for everything. They want the government. They want to control the money that comes out of the government. So it's a perfect system, and it suckers the people in. the people that, you know, they're struggling in their job. They don't know, I've been working for 10 years. Why don't I haven't had a raise? Why does everything get much more expensive, but no one gives any money? Why is the average worker so underpaid? Blah. Going into this, never understanding the root cause, never understanding the reason why. Because then what it ends up happening is you start not being able to afford just basic living standards and things that you need, and then you fit criteria to get put onto the social system. So now that's exactly what's happened in America, because we have 110 million people, or 101 million people, excuse me, on food stamps. And these people work in there. Most of these people are actually have full-time jobs. It's just an unbelievable truth. And then the government will give you everything, and then the people that are lazy, it's perfect for them because they get everything, and they just have to, but they also have to, you know, they can't leave the table until they ask. So everything they need, they're reliant upon the government. And the more people that are reliant on the government, the easier it is to enslave the population. It's that simple. You know, you can't just run into a bank with a gun and put, you know, you're going to get caught, chances are. You've got to be cool. You've got to do things from behind the scenes. Get yourself infiltrated into the organizations, into the infrastructure of both these banks and the regulatory bodies and the federal government. Over time, over generations. Infiltrated with your people, and things go your way. That's what's going on here. That's why Eric Holder is still allowed to be our Attorney General. That's why Obama hasn't been impeached. That's why Bush wasn't impeached. We gotta understand what the truth is.
The former chief counterinsurgency strategist for the U.S. State Department has estimated that drone attacks kill 50 non-targeted persons for each intended target.
One of the things the United States kind of pretends is that we are morally superior. We are better able to judge what is good for other people. And therefore we are entitled to inflict our judgment on them, and that we presume they will be grateful to us for it. But that is not what happens, ever. And it's not what's happening in Yemen. It's not what's happening in Pakistan. They are furiously enraged with us.
Sending drone strikes, killing innocent people, collateral. Can you, as an American, put yourself in the position of these people that we're oppressing, destroying, in the name of terrorism? Bullshit! It's in the name of causing trouble to get control of the political power in those countries, so these corporations can come in and do their shit, which they do in every place. Libya, they did it there. Topple the tyrant Gaddafi, who they backed for eons. It's all about controlled opposition, Hegelian dialectic. And these forces are doing it. It's obvious. So who are these companies? Number one at the top is Barclays, the Rothschilds. So right there you already know who's at the top of the pyramid. It's the Rothschilds. Number 2 is Capital Group. Number 3 is FMR Corporation. 4 is AXA. 5 is State Street Corporation. 6 is JP Morgan Chase. 7 is Legal and General Group. 8 is Vanguard Group. 9 is UBS. 10 is Merrill Lynch. 11 is Wellington Management. 12 is Deutsche Bank. 13 is Franklin Resources. 14 is Credit Suisse Group. 15 is Walmart. From Forbes. It's a Forbes article, and you can get it from Forbes. It was reported on October 22nd, 2011. All right, I want you to research everything that I said here. Don't believe a word of it. Find your own truth. There's only one truth. Seek, and you'll find it.
I know the pieces, I know